Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at an indie Kickstarter game called A Hat in Time, which takes inspiration from a lot of the earlier 3D Mario games, with Mario 64 being the core, and some Banjo-Kazooie throw in, but it's also quite updated in the way it's designed and presented, so it's not quite as stale as some of the other things that have come along to try to emulate this. While I won't call it anywhere near as good as some of those classic games, considering this is coming from a small developer with small funds, it's still pretty good and gets the spirit and the charm of those games right. The story follows Hat Girl, an alien girl who's flying her spaceship home. However, when she passes by a strange planet, she runs into the Mafia, who forces her to pay a toll. When she refuses, they break into her ship and she loses her timepieces and must go around the world to collect them. First is Mafia Town, in which the Mafia really aren't mobsters. The best way I can describe them is similar to the Krang from the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles TV series. They're kind of goofy-looking middle-aged men who refer to themselves as Mafia instead of individuality, and they all kind of look the same, so yeah, I would be surprised if they weren't inspired by the Krang. Anyway, she finds Mustache Girl, and the two strike up a friendship. If Hat Girl can kill the Mafia's leader, then Mustache Girl will help Hat Girl find her missing timepieces. Things go well with Mustache Girl basically being the game's tutorial and helping you through the first few stages. However, when Mustache Girl finds out the timepieces can let you change the course of time, she gets angry that Hat Girl won't let her use them to kick the Mafia out of her town. She's a bit afraid of going light Yagami when she refuses Mustache Girl's request. And yes, that does happen. Anyways, that's really the last we see of Mustache Girl until the end of the game. A lot like the villain from Rockstar's game Bully, she's there for the first part and then just disappears and doesn't come back until the ending. The rest of the stages involve Hat Girl becoming a movie star or getting into a battle between two directing birds, and the stages there consist of going around a more modern set that increases your popularity, or a train set doing things like solving mysteries. The third has you going through a spooky forest, as Hat Girl's soul gets stolen by an evil specter, and she is forced to work for him until she can earn it back. In the final level, just a really huge open mountaintop level without any real story to go. You're just free to do what you want and just gather the timepieces you find along the way. I enjoyed this one. Each of the game's missions and stories with them have some charm and a sense of humor about them. The developers wanted these places to tell a story, simple ones, but nonetheless their own story, and they managed to do it well. While not gripping, the story comes off better than most Mario games. The gameplay in this game is just really good. Is it as good as the best Mario games? No. But it's certainly way better than Sunshine, at least. At any rate, as I already stated, each stage has a little story and mission you have to do collecting the timepieces, and as you expect, a lot of what you have to do involves Mario-type platforming. And for the parts, all I can say is that the stage design is pretty top-notch, and the controls are silky smooth. I never felt like I missed a jump or had trouble because the game was poorly designed when it comes to the controls and areas. And beyond the regular areas, there are bonus areas that take on the feeling of some of the bonus areas from Super Mario Sunshine, except these are fun and don't suck like the Mario Sunshine levels did. But beyond platforming, there are other types of gameplay. A few stealth missions exist where you have to keep other characters from seeing you. On top of that, there are missions like the train mystery, for example, where you're tasked with finding clues in order to pinpoint the real culprit. Also, next to the hourglasses and completing the missions, Hat Girl will also have to track down hats and badges she can wear. The hats, which are created by Yarn, each give you an ability, whether it's dash around, ground pound, or let you stand on objects for a while. Most of the hats are useful and enjoyable to use. and I do recommend gathering the yarn whenever you see one. You have to have both the Dweller's Mask and the Ice Mask in order to make it to the game's final area. Badges, however, give you special abilities. Most of these are optional, but you will need to get the hook shot to get around certain areas, and why they decided the hook shot had to be a badge, I don't know, but it's enjoyable enough game mechanic and works out fine once you get it and equip it for it to be fun. So what areas did I not like? Well, there are a few missions that felt like they went on forever. A mission that makes you travel through an underground area of the studio to find one of the directors who has one of your missing hourglass takes what seems like forever to do, and is followed by a lengthy boss battle, and there are quite a few more. Another one has you having to travel a long distance to get to this ice mansion so you can confront the queen that lives there and that wants to make you an ice statue if she gets caught. And while that area was pretty freaky and even gave me some chills, just the fact that they made you get here from the starting point in the forest, which was about 10 minutes to get from the beginning just to get into the mansion, added 10 minutes more to this mission that I would have rather seen cut off. Overall, though, I did enjoy the gameplay, but I would have rather had a few more missions and that were a little shorter than just some of these super long ones. The graphics in this game have a Saturday morning cartoon vibe that fits in games with like Mario Sunshine. The character designs and models, while not ripped-offs, are supposed to give that nostalgic feeling of said games, and they work really well. The worlds themselves have a lot of detail and they're just brimming full of gags and stuff in the background, like the graffiti and signs in Mafia Town to posters on the Bird Studio, and it runs at a smooth rate. I really enjoyed this game's look. They've even added extra details like the fact that you can customize Hack Girl's looks. So overall, they just knocked it out of the park when it comes to the looks and design of this game when it comes to graphics. Most of the characters are fully voiced and have excellent actors portraying the parts, and they all do a good job. The music, again, while not ripping off anything Mario does, it still does a good job of portraying that era of 3DS games and platformers, and overall I did enjoy the soundtrack. Is Hat in Time worth $30? Only if you're a real die-hard fan of Super Mario games, and I did enjoy this game a lot. It did a good job of recreating the classic games from that period, the classic Mario games from a decade ago. That said, I don't know if I can recommend it at $30, as I bought it myself around $22 when it was on a sale. At $20, it's definitely worth a look. So put it on your wish list and wait for a sale. It's got a lot of charm, got a lot of really great gimmicks, and it's worthy of the praise and attention it tries to bring on classic platformers from the late 90s and early aughts. Anyways, folks, this is Tommy the Game Master thanking you for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'll see you guys later.